Welcome to Cohesive Friendship Unit. I'm Chris. I'm here with Jeremy.
Yo, what's up?
Jake.
Hey, guys.
And Brian.
What's going on?
Guys, it's a great day. You know why it's a great day?
Why?
It's Tuesday.
Well, it is Tuesday. More importantly, we hit 250 subscribers. So, super awesome, cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess we're gonna be a little artsy today. We're gonna give our own opinions. No news for this video. Just our
What?
You mean we don't give our own opinions of the regular
Original
news?
content.
You know what they say about no news? It's good.
It's good news.
True. All right, I love it. We're gonna be talking about remakes that we think need to happen. Remakes that deserve to happen. I was playing the Resident Evil 2 remake, and that got me kind of thinking, like, I think there are some other games that deserve this kind of a treatment. It can be a game that just needs a graphical overhaul. It can be a game that has a few dated design choices, and you can expound as much as you want or as little as you want on what you would change, if anything. But real quick, speaking of 250 subs, we are doing a giveaway. Every 10 subscribers, we're giving away a Steam code, which means we got to send that 250 code out. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. If you have questions, you can comment below, or you can hit up our channel page, and you'll see the video right there. You can see the description, figure out everything you need to figure out. All right, guys, who wants to go first? What game needs a remake? Deserves a remake?
Right. I got a couple, but if I can only pick one.
No, you can do a
Yeah,
couple.
hit us
You can
with
do a
them.
couple.
All right.
We're indulging.
The first one that I thought of was Battlefront 2, which I know that for all those people out there that are in love with EA's Battlefront 2, it's not the same, okay?
You're talking
just
Star
love
Wars,
that.
right?
Star Wars, yeah.
Okay.
For all those
So-
people out there with traumatic brain injury,
Right, so I got some hope because they recently updated the EA version to have the same like capture point game mode that Battlefront 2 is all about. But it's, from what I've heard, it's not the same. I haven't played it yet. Sorry, some stuck in my throat. But I heard it was not the same. It doesn't go off of units, it goes off of time and land captured. But that game was dope. And I know me and Jay played countless hours of that. So that one definitely needs to get a remake. I can save my other ones for like later on.
No, I mean we can spin on the Battlefield because I know Jeremy fucking loves that game.
no, that's a deep agree. That game's amazing.
Yeah,
That's probably my all-time top amount of time played game.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's awesome.
that series as a whole needs to not be done dirty. Like they need some forgiveness. They need
Yeah, but
redemption.
They need redemption.
Yeah.
EA
Yeah.
got him, dude.
Well, yeah, but still, I agree. Like that would be something that it would be hard for even EA to fuck up remaking a game. But
Just
of course,
remake it.
And it's not hard. I mean, like Titanfall 2 has NPCs. Like they have the game mode that's deathmatch plus NPCs that you can farm, which is essentially the same thing as what the original Battlefield 2 had. Actually, the Battlefield remake has NPCs as well. So I don't know. It's not hard.
What
You
about
can do it.
Galactic Conquest though?
Well, that's the best
Oh,
part.
I would have to have Galactic Conquest.
I mean, that would definitely need like a refresh because I mean that game mode takes hours. So it could definitely use an update so that it doesn't take literally 12 hours to finish.
That's the
but
best part. It's like a Civ game.
right, but, you know, some of us don't have that time anymore.
Fair enough. That's why we play Risk of Rain 2. All right,
Right.
who's got another? Jeremy, you got one, or you want me to go? Because I've
I, like Jake, have a few. I'm gonna lead with. Should I lead with obscure or like the one I really want?
dude, hit us with whatever you want.
The one you really want.
The one I really want is Jack and Daxter. Not Jack 2, not Jack 3. I need a Jack and Daxter remake because
That's a
that
good
game
one.
fucking slaps. I've played that game through probably 3 or 4 times. It's great. Gameplay's excellent. Story is fun. A lot of personality. I don't think that the gameplay would really have to be tweaked at all. I just think a graphical update. And it doesn't look that bad. It holds up pretty well. But I would love to see that redone and re-released. That would be a great one.
I mean, if you look at like the Spyro and Crash remakes, like you can see like just how cool. Like, they didn't change those games at all, is what I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah.
they just remade them, and they still hold up, and they look really good.
Yeah. And Jak and Daxter is a lot newer, so than those games. It's a good, like, 5 or 6 years newer. So it doesn't, in an important 5 or 6 years for 3D models.
Yeah.
But it would still be, I think, worth it.
Here's a fun game for our viewers. See if you can point to the kid that had a PlayStation growing up.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That was cool.
Well, that was PS2.
Yeah, well, it's a
See,
PlayStation.
yeah.
Like it's a Nintendo.
He
It's
is
a
our
PlayStation.
Sony representative, for sure.
He's our resident
Representative from Sony.
guru.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got one. I have two, actually. The one that I think, like, kind of not needs it, but the one I think would benefit the most and is, like, deserving and is probably going to happen is Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 2 Remake, again, like, I was went in the first thing that went in my head was, like, we need 4. It seems like Resident Evil 3 is around the corner in that it'll probably happen in about 5 years. But that means Resident Evil 3 is going to happen in about 5 years. But that means 4 is probably, like, 10 years away. And the game's already, like, 15 years old at this point, so I will be an old man. I might be dead by then. So I think we need that remake. And it only needs 2 things. It needs graphical upgrade. Just the engine that they're using for the 2 remake is fine, or whatever engine they have 10 years from now. And they just have to add moving while shooting in the same way that Resident Evil 2 had it, where if you move, your accuracy goes, like, out the window. Like, you can take steps, but it's hardly even worth shooting. It's more just to, like, reposition. So Resident Evil 4 is my first pick.
It's a good one.
Does the Resident Evil 2 remake kind of like scratch that itch, or?
It's so good, dude. So Resident Evil 2, it does kind of answer your question, because you play as Leon, right?
Right.
And
'Cause it's like a different type of game from the modern ones. It's more horror.
yeah, it's back to its roots.
Right.
But I will say, so, like, before Resident Evil 4 was my favorite Resident Evil, right? Now that the 2 remake is out, 2 remake is my favorite Resident Evil for sure, hands down. Like, just destroys 4. And I'm just thinking, like, if they took what they did to 2 and applied to 4, 4 will be back on top, baby. So that's
Maybe
where I'm
made
at.
it VR too.
Whoa, that
Oh.
would haunt me. I couldn't. Well, then I wouldn't play it, so I don't want that. No. All right, Brian. Do you have one? Or are we saving you?
Do you want to wait till the end, or because he is a spicy take?
You guys finish what you have to say,
All right,
and
all right.
then I'll say my bit.
Cool. So Jake, let's go back to you. What else have you got?
All right, I'm gonna throw out a quick one because it's kind of already a in development franchise, but Oblivion. If you've watched this for a while, you know that's probably my favorite game of all time. I need a new Elder Scrolls game that goes back to the Oblivion style of things. Very well designed world, amazing quest lines, all
Jeremy
of
would
that.
disagree.
No. I heavily agree, because that's part of the problem. Oblivion needs it. Oblivion,
It does need it. Yeah.
graphically and
Yeah.
gameplay-wise, in terms of combat, has not held up well at all.
No, it's not.
But the core game, like, the quests are good, the story is good, the world is cool. Like, the pieces are all there. I think that would really benefit from a remake.
Jake and I fucking got Oblivion one summer. I don't remember what summer it was. We were in high school though. And
That was like 2010.
yeah, it was around there. God, that was a long time ago, and that haunts me.
It was almost 10 years ago.
We for like 4 weeks straight, because it was summer, right? We would just sit there and, like, go on Xbox Live, each playing Oblivion for like 10 hours a day, and just, like, talk on Xbox Live and play Oblivion for like
Down the
weeks.
street from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
down the street from each other. But, like,
It was
for
amazing.
weeks on end, that was all we fucking did. I like that game. Also,
Hell
that
yeah.
game's awesome.
That's a good one, Jake.
It needs that combat refresh. I mean, it needs a lot of things,
yeah, it needs.
but especially the combat refresh.
That would be so worth it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Resi 4 and Jak and Daxter don't really need, even Battlefront 2, all those games, like, actually hold up really well. It would be nice to have the the update, but I think Oblivion, that would make a huge difference because the people look like fucking potatoes.
Oh,
The
yeah.
combat sucks balls. The, like moving, your character like feels like he's fucking floating around on the ground. Like there's a lot of things that could be done to improve.
I would say
that.
Resi 4 needs it.
Do you think?
The game, well, you haven't played
I haven't
it, right?
played it.
I think Jake knows what. You can't move while you're aiming. That's the problem.
It's
the one
annoying,
thing.
but it's
that's
like
kinda baked
definitely
into
a
the
choice. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same idea in Resident Evil 2. Like, you can't move while you shoot.
Right.
Okay, here's the problem.
I don't think it was a fix, Chris. I think they changed their mind. I think I think that was a creative choice, and then they changed on it.
Here's the problem. If you're playing it with a gamepad, right? When you
Yeah.
go into aim, it's the same stick as you use to move. And that is just like that's dated as shit. Even if they just moved it to the right stick, that would fix so much.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm done with Resident Evil 4, I promise.
All right, Jake, you got any more?
If I were to pull out a super obscure spicy pick,
I love it.
it would be Emperor's New Groove,
Oh, fuck.
the PC game.
I mean, that game does slap.
Damn.
I thought
Oh,
you
that's
said
just
something else.
Slaps,
Jake, you're
man.
coming with the takes today. These
I'm
are
Shit is
prepared.
fire. We would like I remember there was a level that Jake and I couldn't get through, and you had to like mash the space bar, and we would like take turn, like both of us would mash the space bar to like double our mashing capacity.
There's something there. There's a quote
There's
there
more than
somewhere.
something. There's a lot there is what's there.
It's truth.
No room for Jesus on that one.
Yeah. All right, that's a fair deep cut.
That's all I got. That's as deep as I go.
Pretty fucking deep.
All right, I got the same setup. I have one that's like the game that I think needs it, and then I have a YOLO deep cut. So the game that I think needs it, real heads will know. They've been listening to the pod. Fucking Pokemon Snap. Give me that shit. I need that shit now.
Ooh.
I need my fucking Pokemon Snap, and I want it for the Switch.
You want it
And I
for
want to
the-
be able.
the
and I want to
Labo
be able to
VR.
fuck. No, I want to fucking aim with the gyroscope.
Yeah,
Okay,
with the augmented reality shit, like
and I want Pokemon Snap
that'd
in
be good.
HD.
Dude, you don't want
That'd
the
be a good
Labo
get.
VR?
No, VR's dumb. Maybe with an updated roster of Pokemon.
Dude, you could be a robot.
No.
I am a robot. I don't need the
You
game
could
to
be a
pretend
punching
to be a robot.
robot, dude.
Hold on.
He doesn't
Shit.
punch.
Yeah, dude.
Pokemon Snap? First of all, it's a man.
I never had a 64, dude. Like I don't.
You haven't played
I'm not-
Pokemon Snap?
Dude, you used to
I actually never have played Pokemon.
Oh, I see what you're
Snap.
talking
Hand
about.
on heart.
You used to be able to go to Blockbuster Videos with
Yes, you could.
your Pokemon Snap like memory card, and you could print out like photo
Pictures.
strips of pictures you took in the game.
It's a
You
great
coulda-
game.
You could have left that sentence as you used to be able to go to Blockbuster Video, and it still also would have been factually
That's
correct.
true. For everyone listening, Blockbuster Video is a place you used to go to rent videos.
Press F down in the comments.
Yeah,
for
comment
Blockbuster
an F.
Video.
Comment an F down below for
We're
Blockbuster.
quite late on that one, but go ahead and press F anyway.
All right. What's your obscurity?
My YOLO deep cut is iNinja, which was a game for the PS2.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yo, fuck off. iNinja's good. It's kind of like an action adventure platforming game. It's like rated T. He swears a little bit. It's good. You're a tiny little ninja. He can chop people up. It's a good game. That's all.
Sounds like you also secretly want a Shadow the Hedgehog remake.
Shut the fuck
Yep.
up. You don't
Damn.
Yep.
He wants it secret.
He wants
No, I
to-
tried playing it recently. It's talking
Wow,
about games.
you're
That's
admitting to
brutal.
that?
Talking
he
about
wants those
games that don't
edgy
hold
kids
up.
games.
That didn't. No, it's not worth it.
All right, I guess if we're-
Unlike Shadow the Hedgehog, iNinja's actually pretty good.
it was pretty good. I guess if we're doing a double here, I would say the one that this one's very ambitious, but I honestly think this could happen. So Breath of the Wild is basically it's like a spiritual remake of the original Legend of Zelda. It uses a lot of the same enemies, a lot of the same locations. It's vaguely the original Zelda. If you look deep into it, I think we need an Ocarina of Time remake in the same kind of vein, where it's just like they blow it up to modern standards. They can keep the same story. They could even keep the same dungeon design, but like they just make the world so much bigger and more alive. And I think it would. So the thing with Ocarina of Time is we already had a remake, and it was on the 3DS, and it looks really good. It basically brought it up to like GameCube graphics. But I don't know.
Thank you, Nintendo.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Thank you. And it is a good remake. I'm not like putting it down, but I think I don't know. Maybe the 240p screen of the DS just isn't cutting it for me anymore. Also, that remake was like 10 years ago at this point, so I think we could go. We could go for the big remake now. That's just me. But I'm also a cuck, so.
I kind of like that.
For the Zeldies.
It would be sweet if they had like kind of like a grittier remake. I don't know.
Think the Twilight Princess engine, except like even better.
Well, I'm even saying like further than that, because all Nintendo games are very much like family friendly, kind of artsy stylized. Whereas from like my memories of playing Ocarina of Time is very much, I don't know, it's like more adult than most of the games they have.
It's pretty spooky.
Is. Well,
Yeah.
But like the style more, more realistic style, I guess is what I was saying.
Right. So it'd be cool to see them go that direction with something, make it more realistic, more spooky, more gritty, kind of adult focused.
I'd be game. My hot take, I mean, I just did a video on this, so I feel kind of bad just throwing it out there as like a remake. It doesn't need to be remade, but Gain Ground needs to be remade. It doesn't
Still
need
perfect.
it. It's still perfect. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's still perfect. It just needs attention.
It's a beautiful game.
That's all it needs. There has never been a game like Gain Ground, and unless like one of the four of us makes a game called Gain Ground 2 Electric Boogaloo, there will never be a game like Gain Ground.
Fund our Kickstarter so that we can make Gain Grounds 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Dude, I was gonna say Electric
This
Boogaloo
week.
too, and you know how you fucking stole it.
I stole it.
It's not gonna be good anymore.
Dude, that game is fire. That's all I got.
Good choices.
Brian, you
All
want
right,
me to say
Brian.
it to the end?
All right,
Lay it
All
on
right.
us.
here we go. I don't think that remakes should be made. Period.
That's
I
what I
think
thought you were
that
going to say.
I think that it's a cash grab. The companies are cashing in on nostalgia for the like. Okay, let me walk you through my thought process on this. When you sent me like the text of the video that we were gonna be doing, I was thinking Midtown Madness because that game was fucking dope. But I thought about it for a couple of minutes and I was like, there is no way that you could remake that game in the modern era. Like that game was a product of its time. Like the graphics, the whole experience of playing that game, shit or not, is part of it. Like you can't get as much nostalgia from playing a remake as you can from the original, because the original is what you remember when, you know, from when you were a kid playing Oblivion for 10 hours or whatever. Like, even though there's a lot of aspects about those games that are trash, it's part of the experience. It's part of what you remember. It's like, oh yeah, I have to do this, or I have to walk around in this way. Like, you can't capture that. Like, even if you put new graphics on it, that's fine, but you know, for me at least, that really it detracts from what the experience of playing the game is. Like, when the game came out, all of the games that you guys have mentioned were cutting edge. Like, they were, you know, well publicized, they were well received games in their time. But you can't, you have to consider the game in its time. You have to consider it as an artifact of the time when it came out, because the technology advances so fast that even if you put a new skin on top of it, that's going to be obsolete in 5 years. Period. That's just how it is. You look at franchises like one of my favorites, Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's completely gone to shit. I thought Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was terrible. I know a lot of people liked it, but after that, the pretty much universal reception for that franchise, and what they were doing was trying to tap into that old Roller Coaster Tycoon popularity. The reception for the franchise is terrible now. SimCity is exactly the same way, and both of those franchises are now being outdone by games that are essentially a direct copy of what the sequel or the remake or whatever you want to call it, that's trying to tap into that nostalgia, what they were trying to do. You know, I'm talking Cities Skylines and Planet Coaster, both of which I've played, and I've played later generations of both of those franchises, and I would agree the competitors are superior to the original in that case, because fundamentally what it is the game publisher trying to cash in on something that they should just leave in the past. It's the same thing you see with Hollywood not being able to come up with any new movie ideas. You know, you put that money, put that development effort into innovation. Leave what you had in the past, and enjoy that whole experience and what that is for what it was. Don't try to push it to some place that it was never really meant to exist. You know, it exists in 2005 or 1998 or whatever you're talking about when this game originally came out. Just leave it there. And, you know, this is what it is. The gameplay might suck in a couple of areas, but we hadn't come up with stuff there yet. You know, these later innovations are all things that built off of these games that were successful. Just leave it alone and put that development effort, put that money into developing new titles and making them as innovative and as original as those games that were popular were, because that's why they were popular. It's not because they had brand recognition. They were popular because they were groundbreaking in some respect. Just try to get back to that instead of resting on your laurels. That's all I have.
Deep dive.
Dude, I'm sorry I got so philosophical on that one.
No,
but,
man.
like,
No, I like 98% agree with you. I would almost always rather a studio focus on new titles than remakes. I think occasionally, for me, it makes sense, but it has to be kind of low effort. I think that the focus should always be on new stuff and not just, as you said, cashing in on nostalgia. So
Yeah, I mean, I would say my only two notes on that are, I mean, one of the reasons I like just like a clean HD remake or whatever, like not like just straight not changing anything, because there's really two remakes. There's like the kind where they just boost the resolution, do what you say is a cash grab. Then there's the other kind that's like they kind of remake the game. They're just boosting the resolution bit, I think, is nice for games that are harder to get. Like now, if you wanted to try to play Majora's Mask, you're gonna have to get the N64 and get the cart and yada yada yada.
It's part of the experience. That's
I agree, I do, but I do think even like a simple like re-release on like a virtual console, I think is helpful just from like getting it out there.
Well, I think it depends on a lot of what your definition of remake is. Is it a sequel in the spirit of the original game? Is it a port? Is it?
That's what I would say. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, with the exception of ports, like ports where you can just straight.
Right, because
yeah,
that's what it was.
It's like
just
releasing something on DVD and then on Blu-ray. It's like
right.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like whenever a company tries to go in and quote unquote remaster something, like they're changing aspects of the core game, not just putting new textures on top of it and expanding the resolution, I feel like they always end up ruining it. And I don't know, just it was good. People still think it's good. Leave it alone. That's my 2 cents.
fair points.
Fair points. You good, Jake? You just taking it all in?
Just taking it all in. I mean, I don't want us to like go over the time limit of the video, but
Oh yeah.
I I got opinions.
Oh,
Ooh.
there is no time limit if you want to.
All right, so I agree that like I hate the cash grab idea. Like Brian said, with the Hollywood can't make do movies. I agree with that. And I see the parallels there, and it's frustrating. But at the same time, I think once you get those kind of shitty remakes and nostalgic cash grabs, eventually someone's going to make that amazing spiritual successor to a game, or that quote unquote reinventing of some amazing franchise, like Planet Coaster kind of being a spiritual successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon, and the new Doom 2016 being a total reimagining of the original Doom franchise. I mean, there's those kind of blowout, amazing games that kind of come in and reinvent the whole franchise after a whole bunch of missteps. So, while I agree that there's a lot of frustrating aspects about remakes, there's also some really good, full-on reimagining of old games, which is pretty awesome.
Just to kind of respond to that, like, I would say that I agree with you in principle. Like, if you're willing to put the effort into actually going back and thinking about what the original intention behind the game was and trying to update that while respecting, in a sense, what the original game was, like, I think that's a formula for a great remake. I think that the problem is that those are few and far between.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and unfortunately, like the Planet Coaster stuff, the City Skyline, neither of those are the original company.
I was going to say
there's someone else that has taken that you know, we want to reimagine this. We want to, you know, stick with the roots, but kind of go somewhere else with it. It's taken a second company, or in the case of Roller Coaster Tycoon, like a third or a fourth company, to actually come up with that idea and push those boundaries. I just think it's too prone to traps, especially with the way things are going with the microtransactions. Like, they're just prevalent, and you know, these older games are rife for monetization. If you think about it that way, and you think about it for a second, like, if they had this model back then, they probably would have been using it, and that does creep in. If everybody was willing to, you know, put the dedication into something like Doom 2016 or whatever, like, that's fine. But I think that most companies just aren't.
Yeah, I agree with that. Often takes a new perspective.
It's really sad, honestly, like that you were so innovative and you were so groundbreaking at one point, and now you can't do anything better but just sit on that past success. You can't continue. Like, and the few that manage to remake things and reimagine them, they're great. Good for them. It shows that you're a successful company. It shows that you know where you're at and where you came from. But most of them don't.
Well, on that somber note.
Somber?
It was sad.
I don't think it was sad.
No,
it's just real,
thoughtful.
dude. It's just where it is. It's
Yeah, we spit
philosophical.
that real. We don't sugarcoat it.
It was
on
real.
this
It was
show.
real, but you know, real sometimes sad.
We
Often
out here,
sad.
man. You know,
It's true.
we out here.
It's true.
Just spitting the facts, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we had some fun with that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good
Absolutely.
one.
That was a good self-indulgent
I-
show.
Oh,
yeah.
I enjoyed that.
It's all thanks to you guys and your super awesome subbing. But we're not done. We need more subs. Well, we don't need them. We appreciate them. We're on the warpath, though.
No, we need them.
What should our viewers do, Brian?
Well, you know, if you have any thoughts on the many things that were said and discussed in the earlier video, or if you know your brain's been battered and splattered all over Manhattan, go ahead and let us know about that down on the word box there. And like Chris said at the beginning of the video and just moments before, if you go ahead and subscribe to this channel, you'll be automatically entered into a chance to win some dank Steam codes, and we do have a verifiable shit ton of said dank Steam codes, so go ahead and click that subscribe button, because you know if you watched it this far, you probably liked it, and we got a ton more shit like this on the Cohesive Friendship Unit channel. And smoke them if you get them, guys. That's all for me tonight, Chris.
All right. Thank you, Brian. We will catch you guys next time.